Good morning, students. Children, we started our chapter water in the last class, and today we are going to do one subtopic in this chapter, that is water is a universal solvent. Now, why do we call water as a universal solvent? That we'll come to know. Actually, water has an ability to dissolve large number of substances, whether solids, liquids, gases, any state of matter. It can dissolve large number of substances. That's why it is known as a universal solvent. Now, what is the reason behind water being a universal solvent? Let us see that. See, water has an ability, a property which is known as dielectric constant. So for water, this dielectric constant is very high. Now what do you mean by dielectric constant? First we'll see that. See, suppose we have some compound like sodium chloride. In sodium chloride, it is an ionic compound. It is having positive and negative ions present in it. Now, positive and negative ions, they attract each other with a force of attraction which is known as electrostatic force of attraction. So by the time there is force of attraction between these positive and negative ions, they will stay together. They will remain attracted towards each other. But when you dissolve sodium chloride in water, what happens? Water has a high dielectric constant, means it has tendency, this dielectric constant means a tendency by which water can break up this force of attraction between positive and negative ions. So dielectric constant is a tendency due to which attraction between oppositely charged ions is broken up or removed. So water can very easily, due to its high dielectric constant, the force of attraction between the positive and negative ions is lost, and thus water can dissolve the sodium chloride, separate Na plus and Cl minus ion, and this sodium chloride can dissolve in water. So this is the reason. Like in sodium chloride, water can break the force of attraction between many such compounds, ions of many such compounds, and thus water is able to dissolve large number of substances. Since water can dissolve large number of substances, it is almost sometimes impossible to get pure water. Now I am going to show you how are you going to check that water has certain compounds dissolved in it. Like if you take river water, river water, well water, pond water, underground water, if you are taking, you can see the dissolved substances in it. Let us see one experiment. Take a beaker, and in that beaker you fill some water, and above that beaker put a watch glass, and in that also you take some water. Now heat the water in the beaker. When the water will be heated, the vapors which will arise will transfer the heat to the water in the watch glass, and this water in the watch glass will also evaporate. Now, after all the water from the watch glass gets evaporated, what will you see? If you see the watch glass, take the watch glass and see it in light, what will you see? There are certain concentric rings like this in the watch glass. So these rings are actually formed by the deposition of those minerals or those substances which were dissolved in water. So these are the rings of minerals deposited after water evaporates. So like this you can prove that yes, water has dissolved minerals in it. Now these minerals which are dissolved in water, they are actually very important for growth and development of plants, as well as they are required in the bodies of human beings and animals also. So dissolved minerals have certain importance, like minerals dissolved in water are important for growth and development of plants, as well as these minerals also provide taste to water and also help in the growth and development of animals and human beings. So minerals present in water help the other living organisms somehow. Now there is also air dissolved in the water. The air dissolved in water, if we see the composition of the air dissolved in water, you will see that in air there are mainly two components, that is nitrogen and oxygen. You say that there is 21% of oxygen in air and 79% of near about nitrogen and small amounts of carbon dioxide. Not actually 79, 78 point something is nitrogen. So what happens when this air dissolves in water, oxygen is more soluble in water. Oxygen is more soluble in water than nitrogen. So what happens if you check the composition of air dissolved in water, what will you find? The air dissolved in water has 33% of oxygen, 66% of nitrogen and near about 1% of carbon dioxide. So this is the percentage of various substances present in water, dissolved in water. In air, nitrogen, you can say approximately this is the amount, 79 and 21. It is small, it can be in decimals, 78 point something or 20 point something. Now, in water, you have near about 33% of oxygen, 66% of nitrogen and 1% of carbon dioxide. Now this air which is dissolved in water, it also plays certain important roles, like this helps in the oxygen which is present, helps in respiration of aquatic plants and animals. Respiration of aquatic plants and animals. And the carbon dioxide which is dissolved in the water, it helps in photosynthesis by aquatic plants. So like this, both minerals and air which is present in water have some important roles to play.